Hey, what's up, you guys? Big Time Collector 01 here, back at it again with another DC Multiverse video, and today we'll be taking a look at my top 10 DC Multiverse figures of 2023. Man, what a year for the line. This has been a really great year. I do still think 2022 was better, but there's been a lot of great releases this year. This isn't my top 10. These are just like my runner-ups. These are my runner-ups right here. And a lot of these, I was surprised, didn't make the list. Like this Blue Beetle, the movie Blue Beetle figure. That is a great figure. Really like this Wave Rider. I know I didn't review this guy, but I really like the Wave Rider. And this Gladiator Batman was also really good. Like, a lot of these figures, I'm very surprised they didn't make the list. Like, it's very surprising. But again, there's just been so many releases, and a lot of them are really good. Some not so good, but today we're taking a look at the best of the best. So let's get to it and move on with the list. Before we move on to the top 10 list, I wanted to take a look at a few of my honorable mentions. So yeah, a lot of these, we had a lot of great releases. Some of these actually made the list, like the Infinite Frontier Joker. Freaking love this figure. Had a lot of fun with it. You can get a lot of personality with him. But he got bumped out, like, literally at the last second. So yeah, I was kind of a little upset about that. But again, the figure that beat him was so much better. Superman here, love this Superman. It just didn't make the list due to all the reuse, and it just didn't feel like anything special. Like, it's a great Superman, but it didn't feel like anything new or special. Because, again, it's just on that Rebirth body mold. Another one that I'm surprised didn't make the list was Vampire Superman. I really enjoyed that Vampire Superman. One of my favorites. One of my favorite gold labels. It was really good, but sadly didn't make the cut. And I had a hard time trying to find this guy, too. Another one that I'm very shocked, and I know a lot of you are going to find very surprising. This is also a very controversial pick. Nightfall Batman didn't make the list. I know. Crazy. Again, there's just a lot of great releases this year, and just Nightfall did not make the cut. But I still really like this Batman. He is with my other Justice League members. I can't wait to get this guy in a black and gray color scheme. I think we're supposed to get one this year. And then on the rotating base, we have the Michael Keaton Batman from The Flash, the Jim Gordon Batman, and then the comic book Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I thought at least Mr. Freeze and Michael Keaton Batman here was going to make the list this year when I opened them up. But sadly, they didn't. But they're still very good figures. I love those two figures. They're great. Even the Jim Gordon Batman was really good. He had a lot of bang for your buck. You got the head and all those hands with him. I even have the Platinum Edition for that Jim Gordon Batman too. But yeah, just, again, a lot of great releases. And of course, not all of them are going to make the cut. So let's get to it and take a look at number 10. Starting off the list at number 10, we have the Hush Batman. We have two Hush Batmans released this year. We have, the blue one and then this black and gray one. I put both of them on the list because if I put one, the other had to go on. But both are equally great, and I freaking love these figures. They are really awesome. This is like my preferred Batman look. This is the black and gray one's my preferred Batman look. Black and gray, the solid bat logo, the pouch belt. Really great. And I remember when I saw this figure, the blue one, I was just like, oh man, I know we got a black and gray one coming in soon, and we got it, and I'm so happy to have it. As you saw in my videos, these were both in face-offs against other Batmans, and they both tied, I think, if I remember correctly. But again, great figures. I love the paint apps on the blue version, but I love the look of the black version. So both of them are equally great. They both have a purpose in my collection. This is my main Batman in my Bat Family display, and then this is my Batman in the Hall of Armor. Every Batman goes into the Hall of Armor. Almost every Batman goes into the Hall of Armor. So again, great releases from McFarlane. The reason why it's so low on the list is because of mainly all the reuse and that there is two of them. And I also did limit myself for this list because there was on my final list when I selected who could be on the final list. 7 figures were Batman out of like 15. So yeah, I had to limit my Batman. So I limited, only 3 Batmans on this list. And this is one of them. This doesn't count as 2. It only counts as 1 since, again, these are basically the same thing. So let's move on to number 9. At number 9, we have the Michael Keaton Batman and Batmobile 2-pack. I know you only see Michael Keaton Batman right here, but the Batmobile is way too big. So, again, you'll see images of the car. But this figure is awesome. I love this figure. It is great. I am very happy to finally have like a Michael Keaton 1989 Batman figure. And even the Batmobile. That is crazy. I never thought I'd even have that set in my life. It got delayed after delay. And it came to my doorstep and I was livid. I was very happy to finally have the set. It only gets this low of of the list because I think both the car and the Batman figure could have done a little more. Like, there was no interchangeable hands with this guy. It would have been nice if he came with some gripping hands so he could hold the steering wheel of the Batmobile. And the Batmobile, as awesome as it is a repaint, a really well repaint, I must say. But I really think there could have been a little more with the car. Like, like the little guns that pop out on the side or something at least. I don't know. The only thing the car can do is pop up with the canopy. But again, it is just so cool to get a 1989 Batman and Batmobile set from McFarlane Toys in action figure form. It is just awesome. And the price, $70, that was a steal for this set. It's really good. And that's another thing I always really liked about McFarlane is their pricing is rarely really fair with, their releases. And I love that. And at number 7, we have the gold label Flashpoint Flash. Man, this is a great Flash figure. This is probably the best Flash figure that we've gotten from McFarlane Toys. Yes, it is mainly reused of that Booster Gold and Blue Beetle body mold, but I really think it works here. And I know I said like that Blue Beetle didn't make the list due to like having all that reuse, and same with the Superman, but it really works here with the Flash. And it's, not necessarily, it is reuse, but it's being used to make a new character. Like, this is the first time we've seen the Flash on this body mold. Like, that Blue Beetle, I didn't put him on the list because we've seen that Blue Beetle on that body mold before. But yeah, we haven't seen the Flash on this body mold. It's really good. I really like it. Definitely works for the character. And he could have came with more accessories, but he came with the alternate unmasked head, and that was great. We haven't seen an alternate head with the McFarlane figure in a while, so it was really nice to see 2 heads with this guy, and I'm very glad he came with that masked option as well. This is my main Flash on my Justice League display, and he looks great with his other teammates. And at number 7, we have the Kingdom Come Batman. Man, this is a great figure. One, I was very, very excited to, finally get in this line. One I've been wanting for a while. This is one of my favorite looks for Batman. And I love Kingdom Come as a storyline. It's definitely one of my favorite DC stories. So having this, Batman from that story making me really happy. I was very happy to see it come to life. Makes me want to see a Kingdom Come Superman. That would be great. I'd love to see that. And just more Kingdom Come characters in general. I love that storyline. And this is just a great figure. All new sculpt. And I love the wings. I've said this before. I'm just a sucker for wings. I love wings, And the wings on this figure is very impressive. Again, just really well done. I love all the, the sculpting work. And it's very simple sculpting. It's very simple. And I like that about the design. It's very simplistic. And it also has that retro feel too. And that's another thing I really liked about Kingdom Come. Another thing I really liked about this figure is that he has the holes on the bottom of the fist. So you can put them on the handles on his belt, which is really cool. Again, just a really, really solid release with this Kingdom Come Batman. Really happy with it. And just overall very, very happy with, having this design and this suit in my Hall of Armor. And at number 6, we have the Arkham City Riddler. Man, I really like this figure a lot. And I even said it myself, this was definitely going to be one of my favorite figures of the year when I opened him up. I love this guy. I absolutely loved him. He's so fun to pose around. He's got so much personality with him. I love all the new sculpting we see with them. And, I love the Arkham City games, and having this design in that, in action figure form really made me happy. I was very happy to get this guy. And they brought the side-eye back with this figure, but it doesn't bother me one bit because it fits his character. And it fits the pose that I want to put him in, which is this one right here where he's, turned around, looking behind his shoulder. And it works. The side-eye really helps with, with that pose. And I'm very, very happy that McFarlane had that pose in mind for this figure, because that's like the pose we mainly see this guy in Arkham City. So I'm really happy that, that he has that side eye to help with the pose. Again, just really well done. Love all the sculpting. The paint work is pretty good on this guy. I love the paint on, the back of the jacket with the question mark. The boots have really nice, weathering to it. Even the cane is really cool. I really do like the cane. Again, this guy just has so much personality to him. It's so fun, and he fits so well with your other comic book, villains. I actually have this in my Batman villain display because I just like him so much more than that classic Riddler. And now reaching the top 5, we have Captain Carrot. Man, this figure really surprised me. I'm like I was blown away when I opened this figure up. Wave 3 of the collector's edition was such a dud, but this guy was a standout. I love this figure. I can't put him down. I seriously cannot put this figure down. I keep having, I find a pose, I like it, but then I pick him back up, put him in another pose that I really like, pick him back up, put him in another pose, and I just keep posing the figure. It is so fun to mess around with. He comes with a pretty good amount of hands. You can get him with a lot of expressions with the thumbs up hand and the pointing hand. Even his ears are articulated. It's really fun. Again, I didn't like this figure. Was like one of my least anticipated figures of Wave 3, just because I didn't know the character. I had no idea who he was. I got the bundle. I was just like, I'll give him a shot. He's probably not going to be that great. But I opened him up, and damn, he's such a fun figure. Really like this guy. And if you don't have him, I highly recommend you get him. Even if you don't know who this character is, he is just a really, really fun figure to play with. And at number 4, we have Abyss. And this was a really big surprise. Just like Captain Carrot, I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know anything about this character, but when I opened him up, I had a fun time playing with this guy. I had a fun time posing him. This is the platinum version. The regular version does look a little different. I do want to get the regular version at some point. But again, this figure is really fun to play around with. I absolutely love this figure. It's all new sculpt. Wave 1 was a total dud, but this figure was definitely the standout of the wave. I absolutely love this figure. It's so fun to pose around. Love all the, the new sculpting. And I like the engineering with the double jointed knees, where you have that, that knee rotation as well, which is really cool. And then the accessories of the, the double bladed scythe is really cool. He does come with an interchangeable hand, so you can, can split apart. It's just an amazing figure. Again, I didn't expect myself to really like this figure. I just got it because it's the platinum edition. But when I opened him up, it all changed. I absolutely loved this figure once I opened him up, and I'm very glad that I did decide to get the figure because it's so cool. And I highly recommend you get this figure too, because it really is a joy to play around with. Then at number 3, we have the collector's edition Firestorm. Yet again, another figure from that wave, from wave 2 that I was least excited about, but man, I was blown away with this figure. I was having so much fun with this guy. He is such a fun figure to pose around. And you get all the hands with this guy. So many hands. It's unbelievable how much hands we got with this figure. And it really helps, helps this figure, get this spot. I remember when I opened this figure up, I was just like, this is definitely a top 10 contender. And yeah, he is definitely deserving of this spot in number 3. It is great. He was the standout of Wave 2, having 100% new sculpt, all the hands. Another, character that we've been really wanting from the DC Multiverse line, and it was just awesome to see. Again, it was a figure when it was first revealed. I was like, that's cool, we're getting a Firestorm. Not super excited for it, but then I opened him up, and bam, I was so happy with this figure. Not my favorite version of Firestorm. This is Ronnie Raymond. I prefer the Jason Rush version of, Firestorm, but still really good figure. Really love this figure and highly recommend it. If you can find it, get it right away. This figure is so fun. It's definitely deserving of this spot and of this list. And at number 2, we have Black Manta from the Page Punchers wave. And oh man, I was very, very excited when this figure got announced. Like, I was freaking out when this figure got announced. I can't believe that we finally got a Black Manta, in the DC Multiverse line that's based on the comics, and it looks freaking amazing. Well, it is an original design for the Page Punchers wave, but it's an awesome design. I love it. This is definitely like an awesome Black Manta figure that's come out, and in general, to be honest, I really like it. The articulation on this figure is outstanding. The sculpting is great. The paintwork is awesome. He does come with a few accessories like these arm blades. I love how he comes with the arm blades. They are removable. He does come with a spear or trident, whatever you want to call it. Love it. Love this figure to the nines. Like, it is awesome. There's no reuse on this guy other than the hands, but even that can't take away from how much fun I've had with this figure. This figure is really good. Like, I'm very, very happy with this guy. Like, it's ridiculous how much I like this guy. I'm very happy to finally have a Black Manta in the collection, and it's awesome. Like, I remember when I first opened this guy up and reviewed it, I said this was definitely going to make the list. And it's here on the list at number 2. I'm surprised it didn't make number 1, but you'll see who's number 1 in just a second. And at number 1, we have the Interrogation Room Joker from The Dark Knight. And yeah, this was a total surprise. I didn't see this figure coming. I got him through that McFarlane Toy Store bundle. And when I opened him up, had a great time with this guy. Like, I had a great time with him. He comes with everything like you would really need with this figure. He's got the table, he's got the chairs, he's got the hands, he's got the cell phone and the cuffs. Like, what more could you ask? Like, really, it's great. And they've released a lot of Heath Ledger Jokers. This year McFarlane Toys has released a lot of Heath Ledger Jokers, but this one's by far the best one. It definitely, the legs are reused from the first one, and the head is reused as well, but it's really well done. The paint apps on this guy are amazing. I love the dirty hands. They look really dirty, and I love that. He comes with a lot of hands as well, and it's just so fun to mess around with this guy. When I first got this figure, I couldn't put him down. I could not put him down. Like, I just kept interchanging the hands, putting them in different poses, having fun with this table. The table and chair, is worth $40 alone. It is sold out, but it is definitely worth, this set. The table and chairs are so much fun to mess around with. You can use other figures from your collection for, whatever reason. It's great. I love it. This is definitely one of the best releases from the year, and that's why it gets my number 1. And there you guys have it. My top 10 DC Multiverse list of 2023. This was a really good year for the line. There was a lot of great figures. Like, I'm very happy with this line. I really do like this year. It's definitely a standout year. But there's been a lot of reuse lately. I know there's been a lot of reuse that we've seen this year. Hopefully we don't see as much next year. But the reuse we have seen this year was really good reuse. I must say, it was pretty good. At some points, it was pretty good reuse. But yeah, this is a great year for DC Multiverse figures. A lot of these are still available right now, so if you want to get some of these figures for your collection, I highly recommend getting these. These are awesome figures. I love them. They are so fun to mess around. And this is my list. So if one of your favorite figures didn't make the list, let me know. I'd like to know what your top 10 list is. So leave it down in the comments below, because these are my personal picks and opinions. You know, my picks are different from yours. My picks are different from everyone else's. Like, you know, I don't have Nightfall Batman on this list. A lot of people don't have, a lot of people have Nightfall Batman on their list as, like, very high up. I didn't even put him on the list. That's like, that's kind of a controversial pick. But hey, I want to stand out from everyone else. So, yeah. This is my list. So my personal picks and opinions. So yeah, if you guys, like this list, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe, because I'd love to see you guys' lists. It'd be awesome to see what your top 10 DC Multiverse figures look like, because it was a hella good year for the line, and I can't wait to see what 2024 has in store for us. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.